Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Chicagoland Baseball Chronicles. And you know the business. If you woke up this morning, if you woke, you are definitely winning because a lot of people didn't wake up. What's up, Bill? We got a good one
Hey,
today.
yeah, we got a good one, Bo. We got a good one, Bo. We really fortunate to have another first round draft pick to join us today. First round draft pick for the Houston Astros, 1991 draft out of Simeon High School. 8-year professional career. He has his own baseball program on the south side of Atlanta where he's making a difference for a lot of kids down there. He's a college coach, just wearing a lot of different hats and
Absolutely.
really interested to hearing the story of Mr. Shawn Livsey. Let's bring
Let's
him
bring
on, man.
let's bring them on. Shawn
Okay.
Legend. Shawn Legend. Welcome to Chicagoland Baseball Chronicles. My mellow.
Hey, how you doing, man? Nice to be here. Great to be here.
Man, thanks for joining us, bro. Thanks for
Uh
joining us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
huh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I
Yes,
see you over
sir.
there, folks. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, we just glad to have you on here, man. After doing Jeff, now we get you. Hey, man, we're going to get straight to it. I know Parker, but tell us how you got started, man. Tell us how you became what you are, man.
I started playing baseball when I was probably like 5 years old,
Hmm.
and I didn't live with my dad. You know what I'm saying? So I came from a single parent home as far as my mom. So my dad used to come when
It's
he
some
seen
kind
me
of
play.
clutter, man. It's some type of clutter in your
You,
voice. Do you hear it, Bill?
you can hear? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear it.
You
It
can
was
hear me?
like a clutter. Yep, it was a clutter, but go ahead. It's fading
Oh,
out.
okay. Well, you know that then when Bill, like when I was 10 years old, Bill seen me play. So
Hmm.
when he seen that I had, a little talent or whatever, he started coming by my house, every day, man, and was training me, So I was putting in at least 2 to 3 hours a day as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah,
this
that
is
was
just
deep.
one-on-one training, fundamentals, skills.
Yeah.
So how
One-on-one
early?
training, man. One-on-one training.
One-on-one.
I had to throw the ball against the wall in the backyard for an hour. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do those things. And then I had to hit tires with weight bats all while I was 11 years old. I was lifting weights and working out just like a grown person was.
How early did you start
Wow.
switch hitting? How early did you start swinging from both sides?
I started switch hitting when I was like 12 years old.
Ah,
I
okay.
started switching when I was 12. And he told me in order to make it to the league, see, he had my life planned out, man. He was saying, you're going to go to Simeon. Simeon's one of the best programs in baseball in Chicago. See, because I wanted to go to St. Rita. I came from St. Sabina Elementary School.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go to St. Rita and things, or Brother Rice and something like that. But he was saying, no, you're going to go to Simeon. You know what I'm saying? Because Simeon was the best. You know what I'm saying? And he was telling me
Absolutely.
about
That's
he
right.
was
That's
he
right.
was
That's
right.
right.
He was telling me about
That's
guys
right.
like Bo Rab and Michael Nix and Chamberlain, and he was telling me about all those guys. And he said, I want you to go there, and I don't want you to play JV. I want you to play varsity. So we're gonna start working from now at you starting at varsity your first year. So that's what we just took off, man. And I had to come home from school every day and not be in the streets. And you know what I'm saying? He did a great job when it came to doing
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
What about
So
in the
when you
summer times? What about in the
Mhm.
summertime? Who did you play with? Like, coming up. How did he structure that?
Well, he always wanted me to play close to him so he can train me. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
Right.
during those times, I was playing with him, and then I go play with, like I said, when I got 14 years old, I was playing semi-pro. And see,
Mm.
I had a little run-ins with Jackie Robinson too, like Coach Haley, and those
Mhm.
guys tried to come
Mhm.
get me when I was 12, 13 years old. But yeah,
Mhm.
my dad let me play an All-Star game with him, a couple All-Star games with him, and things like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But he really took control of how I played as far as who I played with and those type of things. He didn't want me really playing with guys my age. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Abs-
So I came
absolutely.
up playing against older guys. So it was
And
like he was like, I didn't want you to play down, even though Mr. Haley didn't wanted me to play 12U, with him. He was
right.
like, I don't want you to play down. So he never will accept those challenges for me.
Hey,
Mhm.
Sean, and that's
Yeah.
something, and Bill will tell you, that's something that I've always been talking about on the show. with
Yeah.
other guys and some of the coaches. We had Ernie Radcliffe and all them cats, and Fletcher them. They got the Kenny Foreman. They got the ACE
Yeah.
program. I'm me. I'm not an advocate of letting them play like that. Or well, let them play that way, but you got to pick the cream of the crop, and you got to let them go and move on up with the Jeffersons. So they can get a taste of it. So
Yeah.
they can get a taste of it, because when you go to that next level, especially if you go out of high school, you're gonna be in the same room with someone. Like Jeff said, he was in there with grown men, but he had
Hey man,
never seen it.
that's the whole deal. But see, the whole why I was a little bit better with it is because when I got to Simeon, man, I considered those guys grown men like Brian Street and all those guys. And Brian Street was a big part of my career, man, and he don't know that to this day because he the one made me take the game serious. Like when I was going into those, when I was 13, 14, and I was in the locker room, I mean in the gym with Brian and all those guys. If you acted out of line, man, Brian put you in line, man. You know what I'm saying? So it was
Absolutely.
one of those type of things where I was seeing him like, oh man, I was scared of this dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling my dad, these guys too old for me to be playing with, bro. These are grown men. See what I'm saying? So
Right,
he
right.
wanted me to hang with the guys, and you know what I'm saying, so that I can get get comfortable with them and things like that. And man, it was a great experience for me, man. And like I said, during the time, when I was a freshman or whatever, I didn't know how big it really was for me to be starting on varsity. I just know Coach Hamp used to come and say, man, we want you to be on our team. You know what I'm saying? So, but now Coach Franklin did a good job with me, man, when I was 14.
Okay.
Absolutely. You went to the warehouse.
Oh yeah, and see another thing people don't understand. I was going to pro showcases when I was 14 years old. You see what I'm saying? So during that time back in the day, they'll pick a team at the end of the showcase. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And if you don't
Right.
make that team, you see what I'm saying? Then you got to go home. You know what I'm saying? So I guess they kept all the prospects. So when I was 14, my dad, I didn't make the team, so that was a long ride home. If anybody knew my dad, man, that was a long ride home. So he was telling me, and I ran a 7.2. I mean, I think I ran like a 7 when I was 14. I ran like a 7.560. So he was like, bro, you're gonna have to hit these hills every day, man. I got to get down in the sixes if you talking about playing pro ball. So after that, man,
Absolutely.
I was hitting them hills every day with them comeback boots on, wearing boots to school and
Yes,
everything
sir.
else. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's good
So
That
business.
what?
was
So I was going to ask you, what year did you pop up on the scouts radar? I was thinking maybe it was your sophomore or junior year, but it's actually your freshman year. By participating in these events, you're already on the prospect radar.
Man, I was already talking to scouts at 14.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? I was already talking to scouts. So the whole thing was, they was coming to see at the time Brian Street. They was coming to see Jeff Jackson, even when I was a sophomore. And I knew if I can hang close to Jeff Jackson, or if I can hang close to Brian Street and those guys, that I knew it was a chance that I can get drafted.
Mhm.
So during those times, I was hanging with those guys, man, and hitting with them and doing things like that. So, I knew I was gonna probably get drafted when I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
Yeah,
So before we lead up to the draft, Shawn, you were the centerpiece of one of the most talked about, hyped up high school baseball games that I could ever remember, man. The Simeon versus Thornwood game, Shawn Livsey versus Cliff Floyd. Kind of take us through what was like leading up to the game. The game is finally played. And what was that all about? What were the emotions like regarding that game for you?
well, like I still remember that game to this day, man. It
Yeah.
was one of the best games and biggest games I ever played in because it was so much on the line. Me
Yeah.
and him was talking about being a first round draft pick, and he was coming to a couple of my games before we played that
Really?
game. Cliff
Okay.
Floyd was coming to,
Oh, he was
I
coming.
guess he
Okay.
was
He
scouting me
came to
out a
you.
little
He
bit.
came to y'all games, huh?
Yeah, he used to come to my games with his coach, and they used to check out a few of my games and things like that. So when he seen that, Coach Franklin had made the game against them. Like it was supposed to be 2 games we played against them, but we ended up playing 1. But
Okay.
Coach Franklin, set it up, and he said he wanted me to play against him, and it was going to be a real big game. So we didn't know it was going to be that big, man, but it turned out to be like, what I'm saying, one of the biggest games in high school, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I said, Cliff at the time, if I can remember, Cliff was ranked like 15th or, you know what I'm saying, in the country. And I think I was ranked like 10th, you know what I'm saying, 10th or 11th. Yeah. And so, like I said, it was a real good game, man. And like I said, the pressure was on me and him. And I think I ended up going 1 for 4, you know, and I had an error in that game. And I think he went 1 for 4 in that game too. Yeah, so it wasn't a good game on either one of our parts.
Who was pitching on for y'all, for Simeon, and on the other side?
Angelo Lee started that game. I think Angelo Lee pitched that game, and I came in and closed the game. I used to be the closer for Simeon, you know, my senior year.
No shit.
Yeah,
I knew Jeff was pitching.
When you throw in the high 90s across from shortstop to first, man, and you throw 90 miles an hour on the mound now, you know,
absolutely.
I was the closer. Yeah.
Now, did the scouts show up for that game, Shawn? Were the scouts in the house?
Man, it was over 75 to 100 scouts at that game, man.
Wow.
We was taking numerous amounts of pictures before the game, you know, me and Cliff, and you know what I'm saying, and talking to a lot of, you know, scouts and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, my dad taught me a lot about those things as far as being around scouts and knowing how to handle scouts and those type of things, and knowing how to put on shows for scouts. I knew how to do all that. You see what I'm saying? Taking
infield warm up. Everything is important.
Taking infield, I bring them out there from infield. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I knew they wanted to see the arm, and that's what I had. You see what I'm saying? So I knew that's what they wanted to see. So they used to all be standing behind first base, you know, with their guns out. You know what I'm saying? My bad.
Now, where was that game played at, Shawn? Where was the game played?
Which one?
The Thornwood game. Where was it played?
Oh, it was at Thornwood High School.
I frequently went to their games because my shop, I've been out there for a long time. We were right down the street, so I used to go watch Cliff play. I watched you play also, but I was watching Cliff hit some moonshots on that field.
Oh yes, man. I used to hit some moonshots too. My senior year now. My junior and senior, I hit a few moonshots now.
I saw you, kid. I saw you.
So now, Shawn, once we get that big game, you know, that game is on the back page of all the sports sections here in Chicago. We get the game out of the way, and now we're approaching the draft. Were you pretty sure you were going to be a high draft selection? Were the Astros in contact with you, or how did that kind of play out? Was the Astros selection a surprise for you?
Well, yeah, it was a surprise because, you know, that draft, I thought I was actually going to be the 5th pick in the draft. I supposed to went to Seattle. I talked to Seattle the day of the draft.
Okay.
And I was going to go to Seattle with the 5th pick. But you know how the boomerang thing go. Like somebody didn't pick John Burke, somebody that was a pitcher in front of me, a guy who was, you know, throwing in the mid-90s and, you know, out of college or whatever. So the Seattle ended up taking John Burke.
He dropped to Seattle. They didn't expect him to drop.
So Seattle didn't take me. You see what I'm saying? So when Seattle didn't take me, I thought Houston, you know, was going to take me with the 6th pick, but Houston ended up taking a pitcher. So I ended up dropping to the 29th pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Still a first round selection.
Right.
So you go through everything. You sign with Houston out of high school. So now you're coming from Chicago, a Midwest kid, and they send you down here to this Florida heat. What is it like? What was the transition like when you go down to Florida for I imagine it's rookie ball now?
And also, where did they send you when you left? Did you go to rookie ball, instructional league? What, you know?
Yeah, they sent me to rookie ball.
And that's in Florida?
Yeah, it was in Kissimmee, Florida.
Okay.
So yeah, they sent me there, man, and you know it was it was hot, like you said, it was hot. It was early days, and like I said, like Jeff was saying the other day, man, you really don't know how serious it is until you're down there. You know what I'm saying? As far as the rules and regulations of it, you know what I mean? As far as you have to be here at a certain time, 30 minutes before. See, that's something that I had to, you know, get, you know, acclimated to.
You too. Well. You had to do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
So now,
what did you do, man?
So Shawn, you're 17 also, right? You're 17 at the time of the draft, right?
I was 17 at the time I was down there. Yeah. Yeah. So and like I said, the only thing that was bad to me, man, as far as like me giving you guys the real on it. The only thing that was bad to me was the relationships that you have in the minor leagues. You feel what I'm saying? Like when I was 17 and I got to the minor leagues, you still looking for that father figure, somebody to say, okay, listen, man, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be this and that. You still looking for that. You see what I'm saying? But when you get there, you don't get that. You see what I mean? And you just a kid, and everybody's coming at your neck, and everybody's coming at you, want to be better. Every pitcher want to strike you out. You see what I'm saying? Every guy wants your position. Every guy wants to prove that you're not as good as you are. You see what I'm saying? So you think you have friends, and you really don't have friends. And see, that's what I really had to get used to real quick. You see what I'm saying?
And that's because you were a first round draft pick?
First, I don't care what nobody say, man. First round draft picks get the most pressure ever. You get the most pressure because if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, they on you constantly every single day. You see what I'm saying? And it's like you can't go up there and get hits and, when you want to. You see what I'm saying? These guys throwing 95 miles an hour. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the pressure that they put on you. Like I'll tell a lot of people, if I was probably a lower round pick, I probably would have made it far, made it farther than I did. Because the thing is, when you're a first round pick, they expect you to make it to the big leagues. When you're not a first round, you're not a top round pick, it's a miracle to make it, or it's you know what I'm saying? It's they're not expecting you to make it. You feel what I'm saying? Like they don't care if you don't make it.
Most definitely.
The first round pick making it.
Absolutely, most definitely.
So as far as on the field adjustments, so you coming out of Simeon, you a power guy. You hitting long balls, hitting them in the gaps, driving in runs. What kind of adjustments did you have to make on the field to your game?
Well, doing all them hills, man, my 60 time had got down to like a 6'5". You see what I'm saying? So when I got down to camp, they was like, okay, well now you a fast guy. You see what I'm saying? So as far as me swinging for home runs and doing those things, I was a leadoff hitter. See, I stayed a leadoff hitter all my years in the minor league. Leadoff third. You see what I'm saying? So I never hit at the bottom order, in the bottom of the order. So the whole thing was they knew I had gap power. You see what I'm saying? But they wanted me to stop swinging for those home runs. You see what I'm saying? Because they wanted me to get on base more and steal bases. So that was my game. So they changed that game around as far as me, taking a lot off my swing and doing those type of things. And a lot of things they did defensively. I tell people about the errors that I made, playing shortstop, and when I was at Simeon, probably in 4 years, I probably made 12 errors in 4 years. You see what I'm saying? But when I got down to camp, they were saying how I packed my glove. So they didn't, I used to do that thing. I don't know if you guys seen Shawn Dunston do it or whatever, pat the glove before he throw the first. And I used to pat the glove. So they cut that out. They told me, okay, not to pat the glove and things like that. So I had to get ready for a new release point and things like that, man. And I struggled with it for a while.
So Shawn, when you're saying errors, so back to the on the field adjustments, are you saying fielding errors or throwing the ball, throwing across the diamond?
Well, I was making, I was making more throwing errors than I made in my whole life.
Right, because he had the pat,
Because I had a little patting motion in high school that I used because I had a strong arm, so I used to pat the glove a little bit. But the whole thing was when I got down there, they didn't want me to pat at all. You see what I'm saying?
And you got guys getting down the line a lot faster.
Right, guys getting down the line a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the thing I had to make the adjustment to how faster the game became. You see what I'm saying? But once I got comfortable with how the game became, then I started playing the game real good at that time.
Okay. Now, are you still sticking in shortstop? Are you still?
Well, the Astros stuck with me, at shortstop for I only played shortstop with the Astros like 2 years.
Okay.
Then I noticed that you went to the outfield.
They put me in center field. Now, at this time when I was in center field, my 60 time went down again like 6'4". So
oh, wow.
6'4". So
you went down.
I was running around those times.
You working. You putting in work, baby.
So at the time, now they put me in center field. You see what I'm saying? Which I had a good year. I had a good year the year they put me in center field as well.
Now, what age are you at that point? Is that your 21-year-old year?
No, I was like, at that time, I was like 20, right? I was like 20 years old when they put me in center field.
Okay. So just overall, what was your experience like with the Astros organization? This is the organization that drafted you, brought you up. What was your overall relationship like with the Astros?
Well, I had a good relationship with the Astros. They stuck to their word, man, when it came to, the money that they was giving me. and things like that. Because like Jeff was saying at at first, they'll check a lot of things, making sure they don't have to give you that much money. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So they really gave me like $150,000. You see what I'm saying? Like when I was coming out of high school, my dad was telling them, okay, well, if the guy that you guys pick 6, if he don't draft, then I expect you guys to give him another 100. I mean, if he don't sign, I expect you guys to give him another $100,000. So they made way with that, and they gave me that. So I took my hat off to that. Okay. You see what I'm saying? They didn't have to do that because I was no longer in the organization.
Okay.
So, at that time, I went in the Rule 5 draft, which people say I was a first-round pick 2 times. And I went in the Rule 5 draft, in the first round to the Cubs.
Now, who picked you up in the – oh, this is when you get with the Cubs organization for Rule 5. And then, so for people who don't know, the Rule 5 draft is if a major league organization doesn't promote you within a certain time frame, you can be re-entered into the draft to be selected again.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what that was. And so the whole thing was the Cubs got me in the first round in the Rule 5, so I had to go report to the Cubs. This was in 95. And with the Cubs, man, I had my best years.
Really?
Yes, I noticed that when you were with the Cubs, was was my boy Tony Howe in the organization at the time?
I seen Tony Howe. Tony Howe was there. They had Kevin Cole. Kevin Cole was there. Kevin Cole played with me.
Couple Simeon. Tony drafted
him. You had Jeff down there too.
Okay.
Tony drafted him. Yeah.
You had Jeff with the Cubs too.
Also, I didn't know that. They
had Jeff was there. Jeff came. They picked Jeff up in I think 96.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was Stanley, was my buddy Stan Cowles one of the coaches at any levels that were you there?
He was a pitching coach, right?
No, he didn't. I didn't have him. I had probably the pitching coach, Lester Strode, that played. He was the pitching coach when I was there.
Right. He's
Time out.
Bullpen close.
Time out. Kentucky State University, baby. That's where he's from.
I think Shawn, he was the bullpen coach when they won the World Series, Lester Strode. I think he was the bullpen coach.
Lester Strode was my guy,
Yeah,
he was a good guy for you?
Oh, real good guy, man. But really I took a liking to the Sarge, man, Gary Matthews, man.
Okay.
Yeah, him and Sandy Alomar, man. Them guys took me under their wing, man, and they was that guy that I needed. When I needed to talk to people and I needed to talk to somebody, they was those guys I could talk to at any time.
Okay, they were real. So, like, if you hit a rough patch or had a tough week, these are guys you could lean on.
Them the guys I can lean on and talk to all the time. Gary Matthews, man, great guy, and Sandy Alomar.
That's good to hear, man. That's definitely good to hear. That's definitely good to hear.
I wanted to hear some more about you playing in the minor leagues, like when you were hitting, because you had a couple of some good years, man. When you had
280s, 285.
Yeah, so after those years, did they elevate you? I mean, how did that process go? Talk about it, man.
This is what happened after that. I'm a Bill Parker kid, man. What I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not making no excuses. What I'm saying? Because I had a great life with it. You know what I mean? I did a lot of things, experienced a lot of things.
Absolutely.
Bought a lot of things. You know what I mean? So my whole thing is I had a great time. You know what I'm saying? But this is what the thing is. When I found out what type of, things that go on in the minor leagues and things like that, the love for the game that I had left. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about. Give it up.
It wasn't the love. It wasn't like, it was when it was in high school or before high school when I was going out there having a good time and doing things like that. It was the way that these guys were, some of these coaches and all that kind of stuff, man. I'm surprised that a lot of these young black boys make it to the league. You understand what I'm saying? Because like I said, they be sarcastic. They be sarcastic to you. They talk to you a certain way. You see what I'm saying? Some of them very disrespectful. Some of them are jealous. You see what I'm saying? Now, there's a lot of coaches that's in the minor leagues. You understand? So when I figured out how these guys operated, you see what I'm saying? I said, okay, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to do what I want to do. You see what I'm saying? And if they disrespect me in any kind of way, I'm going to say something back. You see what I'm saying? So when I started doing, just like I was one of the first guys wearing big chains and tattoos in the minor leagues. They wasn't doing that. You see what I'm saying? See, I was the first guys doing that, wearing the big necklaces and stuff like that. When they'll tell you to take the necklaces off before the game and things like that. See, I started doing what I wanted to do because one guy told me in the minor leagues one day, he said, Shawn, if you go home, one of the coaches, man, you know what I'm saying? If you go home, what are you going to do? You see what I'm saying? Now, when he said that, I said, what do you mean what I'm going to do? You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of things I can do. So, in other words, they telling me that the only thing I can do is play baseball. You see what I mean?
And like they control your future.
They being very sarcastic. They used to talk to me about games and stuff like that. You know,
and that's not your life at all.
Right, like while I'm hitting and things. So I used to say, hey, man, don't talk to me about that while I'm hitting, man. You see what I'm saying? Wait till I'm done hitting, then we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. You see what I'm saying? So those things is why, you know, they pushed me as far as out of the league. You see what I mean? Because they knew this guy here was going to do what he wanted to do whenever he wanted to do it. And see, that's what it was, because I felt a coach told me one time, Shawn, if you sit down and be quiet, you will make it to the big leagues. And I said, bro, in order for me to make it to the big leagues, I have to sit down and be quiet. You see what I'm saying? I said, so evidently y'all ain't going on talent. You see what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, I wasn't going to sit down and be quiet to make it to the big leagues, man. That wasn't me. So my whole thing they didn't understand was, as long as I got the respect from my peers, the guys that I grew up with in my city, the guys that I loved and adored, long as I have the respect from them guys, I didn't give a damn about those guys, man. You see what I mean?
So there's clearly a political side to it.
It's a political side to all of it. Come on, I hit 321 one time. It didn't get moved up at all. It didn't play in the winter ball. These guys sent me back to instructional league, and let me say what I did here. I told them in 1995, the Chicago Cubs, I said, listen, if I'm doing good at halftime, you guys got to move me back up to high A. I was in middle A at the time. And I said, okay, if I'm doing good at halftime, y'all got to move me up to high A. So they said, okay, in the meeting, okay, if you're doing good at halftime, we're going to move you up. I said, okay. So at the time, I was hitting 288, probably was 20 stolen bases in 50 games. You understand? So I said, okay, so it's time for me to go. You know what I mean? So, and they was like, okay, well, we want you to stay here the rest of the – I said, no, I'm not staying here. Y'all didn't tell me that. You see what I'm saying? So I left. You see what I mean? I went home. I quit. So I told them, they called me back the next year. Come on, man, we want you to come back and things like that and this and that, this and that. So I came back. You understand? I came back, and that's the year I hit 321. You see what I'm saying? Now, they said they was going to send me the winter ball. So they said, okay, we're going to send you the winter ball, this and that. So towards the end of the season, they told me I had to go back to instructional league. So I said, no, listen, man, if you guys don't need me, I'm out of here. You see what I'm saying? Y'all ain't finna play with me.
How old were you then?
Man, I retired from baseball at 23 years old. Never played another game.
And you were in instructional league right out of high school at 17.
Huh?
You were in instructional league right out of high school at 17.
At 17. And those guys were still trying to send me to instructional league every year. So I said, okay, either you're going to send me the winter ball, you know, because I'm doing the best on the team. Anybody that played with me, which you can ask Jeff Jackson, I was one of the best hitters in their program. And not only that, I was one of the fastest guys in their program. You see what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
In which my 60 time eventually got down to a 6'3".
Unbelievable.
Center field, batting leadoff, switch hitting, batting 320, and they want to stick.
And they wanted to send me to instructional league. Now, if you go to any other organization, somebody like a top round pick or anything, you hitting 280 or 300, man, you move up the ladder quick. I know guys made it to the big leagues hitting 250. You see what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, I didn't like how they used to do it. I didn't like how I had to shut up to make it somewhere. I didn't like how I had to be a yes, sir guy. I didn't take that. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not taking none from these guys or whatever. You know, when I found out they didn't have my back, and a lot of it, you know, was cracking jokes, you know, and by me coming out of high school, you used to get a lot of grown men saying, can he read and can he do these things? You see what I'm saying? So it was a lot of those, you know, stuff going around, and I started saying, okay, well, you know, my love for the game is done. So I'm going to just go out here and play. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to go out here and honor my contract, you know what I'm saying, and get on out of here. You know, this is not for me.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And this is not, believe it or not, sad to say that You ain't the first one said it like this here, brother. We got a locker room full of them, don't we, Bill? Same
Right. So this is
stories.
probably about our 24th show, Shawn, about the 24th episode. And we've heard this from guys in the minors, guys went to Arizona State, guys went to Nebraska, the same type of treatment that they got in the baseball world.
Right.
We
It's
we even we even got one from and it's one of the saddest. My idol, Melvin Jackson. That one,
okay.
if you ever watch this one, you go watch the episode about Melvin Jackson. Melvin Jackson, to me, no disrespect to nobody or anybody, he's the best shortstop I ever seen in my life. He was
Yeah.
he was with Sweet Lou Whitaker. It was
He was
supposed to be
blocked
Melvin.
by Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker up in the Detroit Tigers organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Bad man.
And see, like
I'm
I
right
said,
here.
man, it wasn't a thing for me. It's like I said, a lot of people said, and I retired at 23. Like I said, I never got released. See,
Really?
I never got released from no program. You see what I'm saying? I retired
Wow.
from that program. So the whole thing was, it's like I didn't want these. Like I used to see a lot of guys getting released. Just say a lot of young black kids, man. And I used to see
Right.
them getting released, and I used to see them sitting at their locker crying and things like that, man. And I used to ask these kids, like, man, what are you crying for, man? You see what I'm saying? Pick your head up, man. Don't let these people, don't let them see they doing you like this, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Don't be sitting here crying and doing it. So it just, I didn't like how they was doing a lot of people back then. And I started becoming a spokesperson for the young blacks, man. And see, they didn't like that because one time, Quincy Carter, I don't know if you guys know quarterbacks from, he played with Chicago Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys knew that.
He was a pitcher, right? He's a pitcher?
Yeah, he was a quarterback. Yeah, he was a center fielder.
Okay.
Oh,
And
I
see,
thought
they
he was
gave-
okay.
He was a
Thought he was
second round pick, and they gave this dude $500,000. You see what I'm saying? And to this day, me and this guy's, real good friends, man, to this day, because he remember when I used to protect him, like they used to talk bad about him and, like while we stretching and doing things like that. And they used to be saying, oh, he's not worth that, or he's not this and that. And I used to go to war for him, like, man, shut up, man. That's that man money. You see what I'm saying?
They worried about how much money that brother
Right,
got.
and
On some
and
jealous
every
shit.
time I say something, they'll be, okay, here goes Shawn. Now Quincy's Carter hanging around Shawn now. You see what I'm saying? So now he's getting, where he say what he want to say and do what he want to do now. You see what I mean? So it was a lot of things, man. Like I said, I just wasn't falling for the banana a lot with them. Like I said, when they was being sarcastic with me, I was coming back with the sarcasm. You see what I'm saying?
Do you think they labeled you as a result of you speaking out? Do you think you gained a label?
Definitely, most definitely. But see, they all respected today. Like just like guys that I played with, Bo Porters and all the guys that I played with, the Bobby Abreu's, all those guys, they respect me today for how I spoke up. You know what I'm saying? All the time. And see, if I wouldn't have did that, they would have beat a little kid down, man. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't start playing good until I started thinking that way. Until I started saying, okay, well, you're going to go out here and do what you have to do. So I took all the pressure off of me. You know what I'm saying? Not caring about what they say, not caring about this and that. And that's when I started performing great.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, like I said, but a young kid that goes to the minor leagues, 17 years old, never paid a bill in your life, never been around certain people in your life,
Right.
never been, you see what I'm saying? Never,
Yeah.
for them to throw you, some of them just throw you to the wolves. They put you around these grown men, and these grown men are saying things that's really tearing you down a little bit. You see what I'm saying? But
Tell me this. When you were down there, so Jeff told us they, by you being 17 and you're a #1 draft pick, they didn't give you like some type of tutor, chaperone, or anybody to watch over their prize pick. Nothing.
Nah, man, they didn't do none of that. You see what I'm saying? They didn't.
Nah.
Only thing they did was criticize you when you did something wrong. Because like I said,
what about the white boys that was a pick like yourself? It don't matter.
I mean, you already know the type of treatment a lot of them get. Like I said, I was watching the guys they were sending to the big leagues hitting less than me. You see, I had 60 RBIs, led the team 2 years with 60 RBIs, man. 2
At
years.
the leadoff spot?
Yeah.
I'm a leadoff hitter with 60 RBIs, 2 years.
Wow.
2 years. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It had 30 stolen bases both years with the 60 RBIs.
I'm looking at it right here, brother. Yeah.
And still wasn't moving. You see what I mean? So I was the type of kid who gonna go into this office and say, if you guys don't need me, you see what I'm saying? I'm out of here. I'm not taking none of this.
That's right. That's right.
So they didn't like that, man. They didn't like that. And that's just what it was.
So let me kind of transition this way, Shawn. You say one of the roles you played is that you would speak up for other guys who might have been taking a tough treatment. You didn't have any hesitation speaking up for them, kind of going to bat for them. And when I read about the Livsey Baseball Academy, I think you're kind of speaking up for a lot of the kids down in Southside Atlanta who might be getting overlooked, who might not be getting the shot they need. I think you kind of standing in the gap for them to making sure they get the training they need, get the fundamentals they need, and making sure at least they get a shot, making sure they get an opportunity. Why don't you tell us about the mission of the Livsey Baseball Academy and just tell us about what's going on down there now?
Absolutely.
I started the LBA Academy because of what I went through in life, or what I went through as far as with the baseball, and what I went through in the minor leagues as far as being a kid who had to shut up to make it. You feel what I'm saying? So my whole thing, I said, okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go get all the kids that got issues and problems that people have just say written them off. You know, this guy is this way, or you know, they get in trouble in school a lot, or they done been to jail probably once or twice. You see what I'm saying? Or Audie Holmes or whatever. You see what I'm saying? I get those kids and I prove that I can send them to college. You see what I'm saying? So I know that I'm laughing at other people when I'm doing those things. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying, even though they look at us this certain way, you see what I mean? I'm gonna let these kids know how to use baseball to get to the next level. You understand? As far as college degrees, you know, making them men, making them, you know, productive in life. You see what I mean? And like my dad, he used to go to the roughest hoods in Chicago and recruit players.
Yes, he did.
So I don't take prima donnas in my program. I take people that I have to train, people that I have to work with, and you know, kids that want to play, you know, play the game the hard way. That's it. And see, like I said, I speak for them, you know. So when they go to college and they have problems with the coaches, whatever, just call me. See what I'm saying? So I speak just like I'm their father. You see what I'm saying? So I speak for all my kids. You know, I send them money. I do everything still. You know, I take care of them. I feed them. You see what I'm saying? All of them. So that's why I call them family.
Just like Parker did. Just like your
let me
pops
tell you
did.
something. When they getting the training from me, and like I said, I'm not taking prima donna kids and then working with them a year or two and then say I've done something with them. You see what I'm saying? The kids that I take, I've been around me a long time. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So the whole thing is, it's like I know that I can take this kid and make him something, at least get him a college degree. Because, hey, come on. I work with the best trainer in the world, who I consider the best trainer, never played big league baseball. The best trainer in the world is Bill Parker. And I'm going to always say that. You see what I'm saying? Because Bill Parker made me a slow kid who was 5'7". You see what I'm saying? Ran a 7.5. He made a first round pick in 4 years. So my whole thing is 4 or 5 years. So my whole thing is he is the head trainer, the biggest trainer in the world, the best trainer in the world, and I'm his son. So that's why I said, all I got to do is go out here and show him what I grew up doing. You see what I'm saying? The stuff that's off the field, the stuff that's off the field, which chopping trees and swinging axes and hitting, you know, swinging with lead bats and throwing the ball against the wall. That's what I show my kids. You see what I'm saying? So really, and like I said, in the last years of me doing it, I've sent over 100 kids to college on my own. You see what I'm saying? On my own. I don't need.
Excellent.
I make the calls myself. You see what I'm saying? And I send them all myself. It don't matter how good you play. And like I tell mine, it don't matter how good you play. I'm gonna send you to school. You see what I'm saying? Now, it's up to you to make the team, but I'm gonna send you to school. See what I'm saying? So that's my goal. Every kid that I reach, to try to, you know, get to the next level as far as school with this baseball, because it's no telling that you're gonna get to the big leagues. You already know that.
Shawn, I know a lot of your kids attend HBCU. Stillman,
that's
you're
all I
the coach.
Mess with. Yeah. That's all I mess with, man.
Okay.
You know, I don't care if Division I's calling me. I'm gonna send them Division II. I'm gonna send them HBCU. That's it.
You see this picture right here? That's KSU right here behind me.
Oh yeah, yeah. And see, like I said, man, and Bill taught me a lot as far as that, man. Not to help these kids that need a voice, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you this situation with one of the kids that I had in my program. I invited him to my house. He stole my watch, man. You see what I'm saying? Now, he stole my watch. Now, my fiance was saying, okay, look, we might can't have him over no more. You see what I'm saying?
Can't save everybody.
Now, the first thing came to my head was, hey, man, this kid need a father. You see what I'm saying? He don't understand, that you don't steal from somebody that's feeding you. You see what I'm saying? He don't understand those type of things. So I kept the kid in my program, you know what I mean? And I kept him around me and things like that, taught him a lot. Now he's in college. He's finna get his college degree this year. He's graduating. You see what I'm saying? So
did you get your watch back?
So I got my watch back. I got my watch back. You see what I'm saying? He gave it to me. I had to sit him down and told him I wasn't the type of dude you steal from. You see what I'm saying? So he had to, you know what I mean? So he gave it back to me, man. He was crying and everything. And I told him, listen, I'm gonna forget this like I never, like this never happened. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna put this behind me.
That's good business.
And that's what I did. I ended up sending the guy to school. You see what I mean? So that's my focus. My focus is, like I said, to take the talent that God gave me, man, even though that I felt, I probably should have did more with it, and things like that. But I said, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it to somebody else, and I'm going to help these kids like I'm supposed to help them. You understand?
So even but you played the game on your own terms. I mean, you left on your own terms.
I left on my own terms, Bill. I left on my own terms. So people like some guy wrote it in my Facebook who played with me. When Antonio Brown took his uniform off and left, he said that wasn't the first time we seen that. No, I did. You see what I'm saying? When the Cubs when I went back with the Cubs and some things happened and I went in the locker room and I wasn't in the lineup and and I was like, what's the problem? I play every day. What's the problem? And he was like, we giving you some time off and those type of things and all that. I said, listen, I don't need the time off, man. I'm trying to get somewhere. So you know what I mean? So that day it was okay. But then the next day came in and I didn't see my name in the lineup, you know what I mean? So when I didn't see my name in there the next day, hey, I took the uniform off. You see what I'm saying? I went in the stands and was eating hot dogs. You know what I mean?
My man, Shawn Legend.
Hey, I was eating hot dogs while they was playing, And the funny thing is, I think they was playing Lucaya now.
My man.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
So man, but it was, like I said, it was a good thing because I was upset with that because, like I said, they sent the same coach that I had issues with. They sent them with me to AA. You see what I'm saying? So this coach came to AA with me and was still doing the same things to me, man.
Really?
All by design.
Trying to break
all by design, baby.
He was trying to break me, Bill. He told me, he said, hey, go up to the room and get your roommate. Don't never leave your roommate. You know what I mean? Now, I came downstairs to the bus on time. So now I get off the bus, I goes to get my roommate, we come back downstairs and the bus gone. You see what I mean? So when I got to the park, he was saying, well, you find this and that, you know what I mean? For, missing a bus. I said, I'm not paying nothing. You see what I'm saying? See, I was always doing that because, they was expecting me to say, okay, yes, sir, all the time. And okay, I'm going to do this and that. If something wrong, I'm going to say it's wrong, Bill. You understand? And like I said, I'm a man before I'm a baseball player.
Absolutely.
So when they started learning those things, you see what I'm saying about me, they started not liking those things. You see what I mean? But like I said, I'm my glory to God every day. I don't have no excuses. The career I have I had was beautiful. You see what I'm saying? It was beautiful. I did what I wanted to do, and I lived great for 8 years straight.
And you're at peace with it. And you at peace with it.
And you at peace with it. That's all.
And I'm at peace with it, Bo.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's no excuses. It's no this and that or okay, why Shawn didn't? Shawn retired. Shawn didn't get released. Shawn retired at 23 years old and never picked up another bat. You see what I'm saying?
And it's a night and day thing listening to you and Jeff. And Jeff, like he said, he gave up the funk with us and told, kept it 100, just like you keeping it 100. And it was a mental strain for him. But you blocked the mentalness out. Why? Because, you had Parker back there helping you mentally and physically. So, you knew the path, and that's kudos to you, brother. Kudos
hey, man, you already know how, when you pull up, appreciate it, Bo. When you pull up to a, like I said, I pulled up in a convertible BMW in the 90s. They didn't like those things neither, with all the gold chains. and everything
Yes,
else.
sir.
So, hey, but I was doing me, man. And like I said,
Absolutely.
I was gonna continue. A lot of people say, why did you spend so much money on a car? You know what I'm saying? When you first got that car, I said, listen, I put in so much work, bruh. You see what I'm saying? I put in so much work from 11 years old to 17 years old. I'm getting everything I want right now. I don't care about nothing. You know what I'm saying? As far as me doing this and that or making it to the big leagues before I buy BMWs and Benzes or whatever. No, I'm buying one now. You see what I'm saying? Because I put in 6
Absolutely.
years of total work every day. You see what I'm saying? So that's
Absolutely.
just why I was doing those things. I had a lot of fun. And like I said, I rubbed a lot of people the wrong way by doing it.
Absolutely.
Shawn, before we wrap up, man, I see you got on your Russ College jersey. I know you're a coach there. Give us a quick rundown on the season. How are the guys doing at Russ? What are you
Man, the
looking at?
guys ranked #1, man.
Come
Going
on,
back
man.
to the
Really?
World Series.
Really?
Wow.
Going back to the World Series.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? And like I said, 2 years ago, before I got with the program, they didn't win 2 games. You
And
understand?
these all your recruits? These a lot of your kids?
A lot of my kids, a lot of my kids go to Mississippi Valley, which Mississippi Valley was 0-25 last year. Now they done won 9-10 games this year. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about me just trying to help these programs, man, and try to get these scouts to these programs. And like I said, it's these kids don't have nobody to speak for them. If they don't have nobody like me, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and somebody that's willing to say whatever and do whatever, come on, how far would they get, man?
Absolutely.
When do the playoffs start for Russ? We got to follow them in the playoffs. But when do the playoffs start? Is it coming up soon?
May 7th through the 9th, they'll be in Georgia. They'll be in Georgia Gwinnett. And I think the 12th through the 15th, they'll be in Montgomery playing at the Biscuit Stadium, Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay, exciting times for Russ
times, man.
This is real cool, man. We appreciate you coming on the show, man, and giving it up, man, and keeping it 100 too, man. You
Man,
got a
I'm gonna
chance
do that all the time, Bo. And thanks a lot for you guys having me, man. You too, Bill.
And hey, man, and you keep doing what you're doing, man, with these kids, man. By the way, you still got the program in the ATL too going on.
Yeah, that's where my program. Now I have it's in the ATL. Yeah.
Right.
It's
so
in
you
the
go
ATL.
back.
So
okay, that's some good stuff.
I have probably around 75 kids now. So them 75 got to go to college, Bo.
That's good. Good stuff.
You already know that. So I'm gonna start looking at right now. You see what I mean? So that's the whole deal. But I promise that to my kids, man. And like I said, I know a lot of them won't make it to the big leagues. But hey, if I could get them these college degrees, man, that'll keep them out the street. And that's my goal. That's my goal is to keep them out of the street.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Hey, my Simeon brother, love you, man, and thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, much love, man, Bo. Hey, Bo, I always respected you too, man. I want you to know that. But I want to leave this brother. Right. Hey, I want to leave this right here, Bill. I know Bo is a guy who really believes in himself. But I'm gonna tell you this. I was the best infielder to leave Simeon High School, Bill. I was the best infielder to leave Simeon High School, Bill.
And I'm gonna put this one on record.
Hey, him and Craig. Gonna give you that credit, Bill.
Hey, him and Craig, who stole my name, Rabbit. They think they was the best double play combination, but me and Spunk was turning triple plays, man. Spunk wasn't always no back catcher. Tell him he was a shortstop.
You talking about Craig Hawkins? So you play with Craig Hawkins?
Craig Hawkins was my best friend, Bill.
Okay. They was up the middle, and me and Spunk was up the middle. Me and Spunk was up the middle, turning triple plays now.
Now, Bill, Bo Rab say him and Spunk. Rab was a 5th round pick, man.
Mm-hmm.
Rab was a 5th round. Rab was a 5th round.
Yeah,
our third baseman was a 6th round pick.
Who's the third baseman? Is that Sky?
Darwin Davis.
Sky.
Sky. Now you got to look at our first baseman got drafted too. We had 7 guys drafted off that one team, man.
Good time.
If they'd have been drafting brothers back then, I should have got first round. But love you, man. I batted 600, man, against Marvin and them.
Yeah. But see,
look at me.
Hey, go back to the archives, Bo. You're going to see how hard I threw over the first base now.
I I saw it personally. I saw you play. I saw you. I saw them scouts standing back there. I saw them
Yeah,
90s, 91. I saw it, brother. I saw it.
Hey man, much love,
You
man.
was in
Love
the
you
right
guys,
good
spot.
man.
stuff, Shawn,
Yeah.
man. That's good stuff,
All
bro.
right,
Really
man. Thanks
appreciate
for
you, man.
Hey, appreciate it,
thanks,
bro. No problem.
thanks for coming on the show, man. Just hold off for a minute. We finna take you out, baby. Stay
All
tuned
right.
for a minute. Don't go
Okay.
nowhere. Hey, Bill, that was a good show, y'all. That was a good one, man.
Yeah, Shawn's a good guy, man. So you're talking
Yeah,
about a guy who came up in baseball. You heard how he was raised and how he was trained, always
yeah,
playing older guys. First round draft pick. He
yeah.
played the games on his terms. He played the games and
Absolutely.
left the game on his terms. But I think his most important impact on the game is what he's doing right now, down
Yeah,
on the
man.
south side of Atlanta,
He helping these
Russ
kids,
College.
man.
And,
He helping them
man, this is a
big
good
time.
one. We're gonna have
Yeah.
to follow them in the playoffs, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, you people out there, thanks for watching the show. And once again, thank you. And if you woke, you winning, y'all. We're gonna piece it out, man. All right, Bill.
All right.
Y'all take care. Thank you for watching.